choice free sliced bread. It tastes bread because it lies.
Soldier. What? What was that? I'd better take a look. Something's not right. Hey, you! Hey, soldier. You... Me? Well, Look, I don't have any visitors on file today.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards.
Oh, my law. Captain, that's the minister! Mr. Clark! Oh, wow!
Minister Clark, what a remarkable honor it is to meet you.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Slowly and loudly, Aloysius, it's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself. Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team. That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term. which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to... I don't have any
He's got no idea what we're at.
Will that... Process of elimination. The only other person with access? Of course, of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way. Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business in my name. But this proves it.
He's attempting to game the system, but he won't be able to get away with it forever. Eventually, Rockwell's house of cards will topple.
I dearly hope so. And you might be part of the equation. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. How should I know? I've been under house arrest. But there is a way to find out. And whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time. A reckoning.
Captain, we must investigate Rockwell.
Indeed, it cannot. Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. We're discussing industrial espionage, legal redress, the possible salvation of Halcyon. Is this... Also, this is the longest conversation I've had with someone else in quite... Via the Acropolis district, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government... But only board employees are allowed into the district. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. When you reach the HHC building, this... Aloysius, you... Well, I used to have an access card to what used to be in my office. But I suppose you'll have to find... Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think... A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater? Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our... Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening. What isn't on it is the... I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more. All exposing the... Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll...
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't...
It's worth a try, but the Earth Directorate still needs that message. We must hope for their... Depending on the nature of their response, months at least. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean... And now, I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust...
I don't know. What are you talking about? Fine. Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
What is it now? Yeah, and I'd really like a new hammersmith, and seeing it. Hey, were you awarded most persons profiled 6 non-consecutive months in a row? I didn't think. Anyway, I've worked here long. As I recall, you were saying something about being tired and... Sure. Let me just... Did I say restricted area? Slip of the tongue.
Captain, I stand out here like a big, greasy thumb.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is... Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32... It's proceed... Now, let's see. I was going to suggest that my... Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your... Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny?
Nicely done.
Excuse me, just a moment. I beg your pardon, Minister Clark's former... I suppose that is...
What's with the big hole in them?
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
That was all a story, wasn't it? It's not real.
Well, that was some quite distressing information. Can we talk? If I still believed in the grand plan, a revelation like this would have... Knowing you, I can only assume you have already begun formulating a... Yes, of course. And when you do, your ability to get out of tight situations virtually undetected hasn't failed us so far. Anything you'd like to...
Where are we headed?
Apologies for the wait. I was personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the Ah. Oh, you were being serious. Will there be any...
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checks.
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy and Base.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out in the city. That woman from downstairs is still in the cafeteria.
That scientist? The one who's been hounding the clerks? Gives me the shudders, too.
They're all pretty unpleasant. You down there.
Best not to ask. Remember that one? She found a bag one of them had dropped and went down to return it. Never saw her again.
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Some UDL officers took him into custody. Oh, law, what did they take him for?
UDL's been questioning anybody with possible connections to Phineas Wells. And, well, Tillman designed all those wanted posters.
So UDL's interrogating Tillman? Ugh, that's disgusting. Can't believe I had lunch with the guy.
That.
Easy does it.
You see any sprats loose up here? Definitely don't.
Like I said, I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you, and I don't... What? Oh no. You must be from Chairman Rockwell's office. I'm so sorry. No one told me you were coming. Please, go on through, and let's forget this misunderstanding, huh?
What a pleasant surprise. Thanks to you, Reginald Phillip. But what are you... On the other side of the lab? Why, that requires a top... I really shouldn't be doing this. But you did help me out. Take this key. If you're seen by any of the guards, however, I'm a...
what's coming. No visitor. Let me guess. She's still holding the catch-up packet incident over Holt's head, right? We've talked to her before. She can't... Just get out of here.
If you don't, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. I think you're being modest. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky. Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony. You haven't exactly been keeping it a secret. We raised security on the Hope after Wells broke in. As for discovering the identity of the missing colonist, all we had to do was scan the passenger manifest. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Something but.
We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab. Remember that you are not.
I've kept myself busy in your app. All? What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revive. Freeze all the workers? Why? So a gang of powdered toffs can carry on living in Byzantium? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. That's not a plan. That's a goddamn That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and none of this. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in... Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest... The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison. We need to get to those colonists. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the...
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope skip drive.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system micro-jumps were prohibited for a
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. Certain. It wouldn't surprise me when I pulled you. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of the board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's...
Captain, you have a message from
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Your signal made it through. We've pinpointed Dr. Wells's orbital lab. Excellent work. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Because I'm not in the business of arresting my own. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't. We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the... If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash for the sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning. I need you to You'll have... Dr. Wells has failed to discover the tracking signal broadcasting the location of his lab. I have revised my estimations of his competence accordingly.
Where are we headed?
power's out, Captain.
You ought to see Quincy for your assignment.
You ought to see Quincy for your assignment.
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. Nobody would be so stupid as to fly to the ass end of the colony for this derelict. Shows how much I know. You've got about 5 seconds to...
You're a deft hand with the mag pick.
Nicely done.
Unexpected noise identified. Intruder. Error. Hook. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your state. Error. Paradox prevention.
You all right, Captain? I mean, seeing this place again?
Should we assign Sam for a cleanup?
Oh gosh.
And am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found. I see you've Located the stasis chambers. Which pod were you slumbering in for so long, Captain? The Mechalon, I take it? These were the private quarters of the Hope's former crew. Shall we hold a moment of silence for the dearly departed? No? That's odd, because my programming would indicate that when forced to confront the idea...
Process with error. Alert, intruder on...
Incoming!
Gone quiet. That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
It's eerie. Like walking in another universe where we all died.
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do. Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.01% certain we will not die. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved? Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
Well, it's been a good life.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
We're alive! We made it! I, never had any doubts.
Initiating greetings protocol.
I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna win a minute.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Captain, I shall now...
The board is here. They've found me somehow. They're about to... I can't stop them from getting me, and there isn't enough time to explain everything. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine! You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
How can I be... See... We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
work.
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a max, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to...
So, Phineas got himself taken to Tartarus. That's usually a one-way trip.
I never got to know Doc Wells. We ain't friends or crew. But he's still one of us. He's the reason the boss is up and walking right now. We can't just leave him to die in Tartarus.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Let me put it this way. The labyrinth ain't got walls to keep prisoners in. It's got walls to keep the rest of the planet out.
But since no one ever makes it out, this is all just speculation.
The armed surveillance protocols on a maximum security prison planet are highly sophisticated. As such, escapes are historically quite impossible and deadly. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits.
but I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
We gonna prepare? Sure. Guess I could give my ass-kicking boots another coat of polish.
The fewer folks we got to hurt, the better. Maybe on our way out, we let all those poor souls locked up in there go free.
Sure, boss. You do the talking. I'll pack a few more.